Bryan, a 1-0 defeat here against Hartlepool. What are your reflections on that game?
We weren't good enough. If I'm being totally brutally honest, we weren't good enough. We allowed, first half, allowed them to sort of dictate the play, get second balls. The striker Kabamba was causing us all sorts of problems. But we just made them look a better team than what they really are. I thought, from the sides. Some of the stuff that we did, we tried to play a little bit through Kemi, at times. I think we had little spells, but in reflection, it just wasn't good enough.
In terms of lead up to the penalty for Hartlepool as well, a couple of individual errors, that perhaps what most disappointed you about that particular phase of play?
Yeah, I just think our decision-making process in the first half, for whatever reason, especially from the back four, was all over the place. There was many times, and I'm sure you've seen it, stepping out, not really looking what's ahead of them, getting caught in possession. Sean made an error, and then goes back, chases back, gets him back in position, and then makes a second error, to give away the penalty. So it seemed to be an half full of errors, but most of the errors were coming in our defensive third, which was a real concern. I don't think we made that many errors second half, but we just weren't good enough to break them down.
In terms of those errors that you speak about, they were perhaps made against Barrow, rectified against Mason. Coming back to that, what do you feel is the reason that they've perhaps fallen back onto this sort of performance?
I wish I could put my finger on it. It's a mentality issue, I feel. We prepared well this week. Our training's been really good. We had a plan coming here, against Hartlepool. We fancied our chances. I said during the week, we were coming here to win. And then we put a performance in like that where it was a little bit tame at best. Okay, we had a couple of skirmishes where there was a couple of penalty appeals and etc. But we can't rely on that in a 90-minute game. We've got to offer a bit more than that. And that's the most disappointing thing for me, because when you get into this stage of the season, now the nitty-gritty end of it, we can all be good players in training. It's all about what happens on a Saturday and bringing the learning outcomes of training into the game, and at the moment we're freezing.
You mentioned the penalty appeals. Do you feel perhaps a little aggrieved by a couple of appeals that you did have, the handball, the foul on Chris Holroyd, for example? Chris
Holroyd's was a stonewall penalty. I've just looked back on it. The keeper takes him out first before he gets the ball. The defender nudges into him as well, which causes that collision. So for me it was a stonewall penalty, but the referee for some reason didn't see it. He didn't see it was an act worthy of a penalty. So like I said, we can't rely on things like that. We can't rely on decision making. I've said all along, it's all about us, it's not about anyone else. I'll include referees and officials in that. I think initially I just mentioned with regard to other teams around us, it's about what we do. Today we didn't do enough.
In terms of the starting lineup for you, Jermaine McGlashan getting his first start, Remy Augustine as well, having not played for a while, was there no qualm with putting him straight into the starting 11?
No, there wasn't. He's a good player. I don't think we utilised him in that first half to the best of his ability. Like I said, we had a little snippet where we got it into him. You could see his quality on the ball. Jermaine, in the first 10-15 minutes, you could see I thought he started the game bright, but then he fizzled out as well. So it was a frustrating afternoon, if I'm being honest. Obviously, when it comes late on in the second half, we change formations and personnel to try and get something out of the game. It can go either way, One cleared off the line. I think at that point it might have been a different outcome, but yeah, I think overall, like I say, it was frustrating. It's not good enough. I don't want us coming into these last 6 games now where we're going to put performances in like that consistently. I need players to stand up now and be counted, and it's all about working hard, looking at yourself in the mirror first and foremost, and asking, did I do enough for the team today? And I think the majority of them can look at themselves in the mirror tonight and say they didn't.
You're still third in the table. Obviously the other sides have got a lot of games in hand over your side. Solihull have lost today as well. Is it perhaps now a case of perhaps ridden luck a little bit in terms of the league position at the moment, and now, yes, motivating your players to get over this patch?
Yeah, listen, I'm going to try and galvanise the players. That's my job to do that. I got a response against Maidstone, even though it wasn't a brilliant performance. We got the response, we got the clean sheet, and we got the win. Today, for whatever reason, I think the insecurities of us were on show. That sort of that decision making aspect of it, which I've made reference to, it was not good enough. You know, we didn't see things quick enough, and because of that, we started making mistakes, and that's when we got punished. You know, so the penalty come. But yeah, I always felt today might have been a big opportunity for us. If I'm being honest, you know, Solihull Moors had a tough game. We come and do our job, we would have found ourselves top of the league again tonight. But listen, like I said, we can't rely on other teams. It's about what we do, and like I mentioned, it just weren't good enough today.
Cheers, Bryan.
Thanks.